Welcome, everyone, to another scene of Vampire the Masquerade Independence. We find ourselves the night of Christmas. Uh, Jorgan has finally felt too cooped up, and he's running low on supplies. He's been working all month at perfecting wards for his haven, and he figured he better go get in contact with Crimson for some emergency supplies, see what he has in stock for him, if anything. That, and he's curious as to if all the paperwork was done for the school he'd set up and then handed over. He'd pretty much been spending the entire month in hiding, and it's really the first time he's gone out of his haven besides sending Maribel out to bring prey to him. Leaving Maribel at home tonight, he takes to the streets and eventually ends up at the hearth. Going to check and see if the door is open this night.
Mm, Go to the front door. The door is open. There's some people inside. There's a person behind the counter that you may not recognize.
Jorgen will walk in and nod his head to the person at the counter. Sorry to intrude. Is Crimson in tonight?
Like, I can check. He pulls out his cell phone and says, who's asking, by the way?
Uh, tell him a wizard looking for supplies.
Mm, Okay. And, a moment later, you get a text on your cell phone. And if you check it, it says, are you in my shop?
And Jorgen will just reply back with a simple yes.
There'll be a pause, and the response you get is, leave and go around back.
Sorry for the disturbance, Jorgen says with a slight bow as he tracks out, probably looking all the more a crazy person. And he'll
Yeah,
head
the
around.
guy was about to say something to you, but then you left, and he's like, okay. Puts his phone away.
So I'll head to the back and uh, this time knock on the door.
And a few seconds pass, and the door will open, and just inside the door, you see this tall, really burly-looking guy. As you can tell, his nose has been broken at some point. He has like scuff marks on his face. Looks at you, and like a moment passes before his phone rings, and takes a peek at it, and then steps aside and motions for you to enter. And the last time you were back here, there's a wall that wasn't there before. And that wall has a door in it that you can guest either goes to an office or a storage room, and then there's the stairs that lead straight down. And in this tiny little area, there's like a chair and the looks like the guy set up a small TV right next to the door.
Jorgen will just take slight notice of it quickly before heading. It's down the stairs, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah, before heading down the stairs. Not giving a word to the bouncer as he makes his way down.
I mean, as you make your way down the steps, you notice that this place is a lot different than last time you were here. There are tables set up with the little pillow nests around them and hookahs on them. A little bit of a dance floor. Not like what Calvin has, but more of the entertainment is more of a. It's a more clean form of entertainment. The There's three dancers out there that are practicing, and they're belly dancers. They're not strippers or anything like that. They're clothed eye candy. There's also a bar, like under where the stairs are. There's a bar set up. There's a guy with a hat and glasses and a button-up shirt with his sleeves rolled up to his elbows and a black vest. And when he sees you, he gives you a nod. And there's on the opposite side of that of him are the private rooms. And behind the dance floor is a little bit of a stage where you could set up either a DJ or a band.
And is Crimson in the main room?
It depends. Uh, where do you want them to begin? Because I don't care either way.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of assumed that they were in a private room.
And you don't see them right away.
Well, in that case, I'll make my way over to the bar and nod at the bartender when he makes his way over.
A little bit of a nod back, saying, "How's it going?"
Pretty well. First time I've been out in a while. Is Crimson in?
It's like, yeah, him and yeah, the redhead that he has around are over in that room. But I probably wouldn't disturb them.
Jorgen will nod and he'll look towards that door and says, "Not a problem. Um, if you could just give this to him," and he pulls out of his pocket a small piece of paper which he'd scribbled on, um, as well as a quick address. Um, if you could just give this to him and tell him we'll discuss payment at a later date.
All right. You notice that he doesn't look at this piece of paper. He puts it into an envelope. Then he just reaches in the bar, pulls out an envelope, puts it inside, folds it closed, and he tucks it back under the bar.
Jorgen will nod at this and start heading for the door. Upon being told that Everly was there, he's going to try to make a quick escape.
Dave, would you say it's plausible that Eve had gotten a peek at Crimson's phone during all this?
probably could have.
Well then, you will hear a screech, and the door opens. Where is he? Where the fuck is he?
Jorgen will cringe a little bit and tighten up his tie just slightly before turning and looking dead-eye at Everly.
She's just standing there across the bar. She's looking at you. It looks like she wants to like shoot over there, but there's like wards in place in this building that won't allow that shit. She'll know she'll hurt herself. She's just glaring at you. Crimson come out, or she's staying in there?
He would have come out just to see what the hell's just going on. Like,
Well, you see.
he looks a little bewildered because he probably doesn't know that she peeked at his phone.
Yeah. Stealthy little minx.
Jorgen, go ahead.
No, you go.
Jorgen will sigh a little bit and motion to a table in between the two parties and go to take a seat himself.
Eve just looks at Crimson. And then she'll move over to take a seat.
So we'll just give Jorgen a bit of a nod, and he's gonna take a seat and he's gonna watch what's happening.
Awkward family Christmas is happening, apparently. As Eve she's waiting for him to say something. She's got her arms crossed. She's looking at you.
Jorgen, after a moment in silence, gives her a slightly sheepish smile. Hi, Everly. That's all he says.
Eve, oh god, Eve just looks at you again. Like she's just staring because she is in disbelief that you would come here. And she just shakes her head at you and she's like, hi. That's all you have to say. Hi. Really?
He shrugs his shoulders. Well, not a lot's been happening. So yes, hi.
She looks at Crimson. She's like, are you really going to be doing dealings with him?
And he's just gonna look between the two of them and he's gonna say, well, I see the two of you have a lot to work out, so... And he goes to get up.
Oh, and Eve grabs him by the sleeve. Do I need to roll a grapple?
You can just grab his sleeve, he'll stop and just, like, look to you.
And she turns her eyes up at you with that really, like, stereotypical bitchy girlfriend look. Sit. Because if you don't stay, I actually might kill him.
Like, you know there's no violence in my haven.
Doesn't mean I can't drag him out back.
Which is why I'm still sitting here and not running for the door.
Oh, so you still have some brains left, I see.
Just gonna give a sigh and sit down, but kind of like slapping her hand away.
Poor Crimson, always dragged into other people's drama. But she's gonna turn back to Jorgan now. So, you're in hiding, I assume.
Yes, I've been staying at my own personal haven since no one ever really found it before. I really found no need to move. Just been waiting to hear from someone, but they've not gotten a hold of me.
Famine? She arches a brow.
Yes. So I didn't know if you guys had already gotten to him or not. Been pretty far out of the loop lately, but it's been a very quiet time to keep up on my studies.
Hmm. Oh, I'm glad things have been nice and quiet for you. You can tell she doesn't mean that. She's like, oh, I'm just glad. Glad your life is so fucking peachy. The mess you've left for the rest of us to clean up.
And he'll shrug. Well, as I told, what's her name? Camilla and her fledgling's name is escaping me at the moment.
Ariana.
Yes, that one. As I told both of them, I'd never meant for the destruction of the chantry, nor any deaths to come about it. I just figured he was after some information, like any good Tremere is usually after.
Did you not see the mark on his forehead?
Of course I did.
Then why would you think he just wanted information?
Because some of the arts are not practiced in the Sabbat as they are in the Camarilla. I'm guessing he wanted to find out more about one power of magic or another that he could find within the books that were down there.
Really? Jorgan, please don't play dumb with me. You can't be that dumb. You were the smartest of the neonates that came into the city. You can't be serious. You knew Jahannam was after us. You were there when I was almost killed. You were there when they tried to kill my mother. Why would one of his foot soldiers just go into the chantry and... Hold on a second.
This whole time that she's been talking, Crimson's just been sitting there watching, his eyes darting back and forth between the two of you. Just watching her when she speaks, looking at you when he speaks, back and forth. And he hasn't been saying anything thus far. Because as far as he knows, this is between the two of you.
Jorgen, despite it all, has been keeping a relatively calm demeanor through it all. Still playing the I've done nothing wrong card.
Of course, At this point, he was waving off this random waiter who's trying to offer her ham and eggs. Um, sorry. Either way, she looks back at Jordan. She's like, continue. As I was rudely interrupted, Crimson, you need to talk to your wait staff. The point is you knew they were attacking us. You knew there was a threat. And you knew who he was. You said his name in your journal. So if you knew who he was, why did you think he was just going in there to just get some information? Of course not. He was going to fucking deliver a huge blow against us, and he has. The Regent is dead. Do you know what he did to her?
Jordan just shakes his head. I just know it was burnt down basically to the ground. And with that, it earned my passage to wherever I decide to go. I'm no longer under the thumb of Cross or Mother. I'm free for the first time in forever. You have no idea how great this feels.
No, I don't. Because all I've had to feel for the past few months is heartache and pain as the person I called my brother betrayed me, betrayed my family, betrayed my father. You betrayed us all. And here you are sitting in front of me acting like you're innocent. I just, you boggle my mind, Jorgan. You completely boggle me.
With this, he looks at her. Look, I never meant to betray you or your mom or anyone. But in order for me to get my chains of freedom, I had to give up something. And giving up the chantry for whatever it held was a lot easier than giving up Robin or you or any of the other neonates.
But you've weakened us as a whole. They won't send another regent. We're stuck with Wabi. What's Wabi gonna do? An untrained Shamir?
Well, he'll have to train himself, get stronger. You know, it's kind of what I've been doing.
And at this point, she looks to Crimson like, back me up.
He just kind of like raises his hands and it's like he doesn't know what's going on, so and he has a look on his face like this doesn't involve me. He just goes, look, I'm a merchant. Beyond that, I don't know, and I don't get involved in what happens on the streets. Because you said they destroyed the chantry. Well, I, I don't feel like them doing that to this place. And as he says that, he kind of taps the table. Yeah, the glass table.
No, I don't feel like them doing it to the rest of the city. Specifically, my mother's place, since they've already attacked her once.
And he nodded about that. I know. And, also I figured if I could get in with them, maybe I could make them go on to different things. Leave the city alone.
She just shakes her head. She's like, it's not gonna stop.
It might. You never know.
She still just looks like she can't believe you. But at this point, she'll shift in her seat and go, "So, why are you here? What do you need from Crimson?"
Oh, nothing much. Since he got the last grocery list for the last time we had to set up wards, I figured he might keep a larger stock of the stuff in the store. And if not, be able to get in touch with someone who could.
Eve looks like she's gonna say something, and she doesn't. She kind of has a moment of that, like trying, as though she's like fighting with herself about what to say to you at this point. And she'll go, "She called a blood hunt, you know."
And Jorgen just shook his head. No, I haven't heard anything since, what was that guy's name? Someone got kidnapped.
Logan.
Logan. Oh, well, that's good to hear he made it out alive.
Yeah. Apparently he was tortured.
Well, I had nothing to do with it. I just did what I could to help and let it go. It's the last time I've seen or heard from anyone that Maribel hasn't brought to me.
Well, there's a blood hunt on you. And I don't even know why I'm bothering to tell you. I shouldn't be warning you about these sort of things. But I guess there's a little part of me that's still soft. Part of me that still sees you as my brother.
Well, all the more reason for me to get these materials and make sure my haven is safe from others. Oh, and speaking of Maribel, she wanted me to remind you, Crimson, the school should be opening on the 20th. She passed off the duties to some other human. Um, a Mr. Baluchek or something along those lines. I'd get in
Right.
touch with him, but she did inform him that the ownership of the school did belong to you. He was just a figurehead, if nothing more.
That works for me.
So if any of those applicants were looking nice, they should all be starting classes by the 20th for further inspection.
Hmm. All right. Admittedly, I haven't been spending as much time on that as I should. But then again, he motions around him. He says, "First of many, do you think?"
Indeed. It definitely brings an air of class, shall we say, to the area.
The intention is to have places like this open all around the city for specifically our kind. He kind of motions to the dancers behind him and says, "It's much easier, or I find that fresh blood is much more appetizing than blood bags."
I could definitely see where the appeal would be to be able to go somewhere, relax, and not have to worry about what you are, let alone what you need. And to not have to feel like someone's just going to walk in and, for lack of a better term, stake you in the back.
He would nod. Saying, yes. Easy enough to set up. Find college kids that are needing some extra money to pay off their loans. Offer them a job. And he kind of glances to the bar.
Well, if you need any additional rituals of the Tremere variety, I've been working very hard at getting these wards down. I'd be more than happy to start setting them up for these havens. Especially this tricky one I've been working on. Really hard to get a hold of the silver dust needed, but it's to be against lupines and the like. Not that I've heard of too much trouble, but you never know when it could be useful.
And say, that would be greatly appreciated.
And with that, you'll turn back to Eve. I am sorry for what I did to you and your family, our family, but I need the freedom. I do. If I want to blossom and get out there, I can't be running around with society and trying to keep up with everything else. It's just too much right now. And maybe someday I'll be able to come back and make a good case to Mother, and she'll be able to call off the blood hunt. But for now, please keep this a secret. You don't need Crimson in the crosshairs as well.
For Crimson, I will keep it a secret. But if I see you somewhere else, I won't be so kind.
And he'll nod at this with a slightly sadistic smile. Well, needless to say, I'm pretty sure it would be a fun little jaunt. But I'll try to stay out of the way. I care about you too much to actually cause any real harm. And when he says that, he gently pats her hand if it's resting on the table.
Yeah, she'll allow that to happen, and she'll just kind of watch it happen. And at that point, she'll get up from the table. Right. You two talk your business or whatever you need to do. I'm Crimson. I'm going back in there, and you can join me after.
Okay.
Motions to the private room, and then she gives Jorgan like a final, just a look of. It's a sad look. Just, I hope you're happy. I really do, brother. And she doesn't wait for him to respond. She just walks off.
He'll nod in her direction, even though she can't see it, and turn back to Crimson. Anyway, I did leave a list with the bartender of everything I need, as well as an address where you can deliver the stuff. I trust you to keep that address discreet.
I'll give a bit of a nod. I can handle that.
And you have my current phone number, so that shouldn't be a problem if you need to get in touch. Um, but yeah, we'll say payment-wise, I'd definitely be willing to do the Ward versus Lupines for you. Um, and anything else, though, I'd like to think that the school being handed over to you would be plenty enough payment as well.
And I believe that would be.
Hmm. Well, then I will be off this evening. Enjoy the rest of your Christmases, and I'll be in touch.
All right.
And with that, Jordan will exit the building, and head back to his haven.
And after he leaves, Crimson's gonna get up and he's gonna head to the private room that Eve stormed off to.
Eve will be in there when you get in, and you'll see her sort of tearing up pieces of paper, kind of trying to be destructive in a not so much self-destructive way. She just looks up at you.
He'll look to what she's ripping up, then look to her.
And she'll move to hug Crimson.
Of course, he'll accept this hug and wrap his arms around her waist, rubbing her back.
And I guess that'd be a good place to cut it. Just Eve, with her face buried in his chest.
Okay. Anyone need to make any rolls for anything?
Don't think I need to roll anything.
Don't believe so.
Okay. Well, thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching.